imaged about 1,000 computers.
Okay.
Repurposed them up to Windows 7. We were on Windows XP. We upgraded some sound systems, put a sound system in every classroom.
Cool.
Put in some new projectors with an HDMI input so we can put Apple TVs for a lot of the Mac users and iPad users. Yeah, making the classroom function a little bit more with ease. The way you access a Mac is the same way you access a PC this year. So we've synchronized the user accounts. It's called a single sign-on, and we've done single sign-on for a Mac environment, the PC workstation environment, the Infinite Campus portal login. We just finished that up yesterday, thanks to Dave Nicola, and then also we're working with Google whenever they have their newest version of their single sign-on ready. So the idea would be for a student to have one password for 5 to 6 key systems that they use. It even includes the library system that they use called Destiny. So really that ease of use factor, again, not making it easy. We're making it easier for the teacher in the classroom, but we're making it for the student easier for the student to log on our systems.
So Chromebooks, how many do we have now?
We ordered, I want to say, a little over 550 of them.
Is that for both schools, for Lakes and ACHS?
It's for the district, yeah.
Okay.
We split them half and half. The intention there was to collapse 2 computer labs and which is a 30 count, so you have 30 machines per lab. So we took 120 computers, and in turn, we bought 360 Chromebooks for each of the locations, each of the schools, and so it will be over 600. I think we have a few more coming in, but so we'll be a little over 600 Chromebooks. And what we do, we put 30 of them in a cart, put a few spare ones in the special ed carts so that they're using the same things as gen ed, and basically they're available for checkout in the area that the lab was collapsed down. Over here, we have over at Antioch, we have a foreign language lab that collapsed, and we're putting them into a little bit more spacious area. And what they can do is they can, instead of 30 kids using the lab, now they can have 90 people use a lab. Now the capacity is a problem. So the most they'll probably squeeze in is between 45 and 60 kids at one time. But we couldn't do that before. So it's kind of this integration of a class, where you have an English class and a social studies class coming together. They can now do that, and they can pass out 60 Chromebooks.
That's cool.
And everybody's in one room, and it allows for a little bit more dynamics between departments, and the kids get to see each other, and now they're interacting between 2 subjects. So that's really cool. Google Apps is amazing. I mean, you asked what's going on with technology. I mean, that's the heart of making most of this happen. We wouldn't have been able to do any of this without that as our foundation. It's free for education, but the Google Apps and the collaboration, kids are gonna love it. I can't see how a teacher's life wouldn't change, and the student being able to access their Google Drive and the documents they're going to create and share with the teacher. 8 kids could work on a paper together at one time, all color-coded text. You see who's who, and the teacher can jump in there and make comments as they're doing it, and help them through thinking out a paper or some sort of project or something. Really cool stuff. So yeah, without Google, we wouldn't be talking about this much change. One of our infrastructure projects, and it's going to make it. We're almost to the finish line, but and we're going to come in under the wire. We are going from a 60 meg fiber circuit through Comcast, and we're bumping that up to 200 meg. Nice. Standard house has between 10 and 30 megabytes of bandwidth for downloads, and not typically the same for uploads, maybe between 5 and 10 for upload. We'll have a 200 up and 200 down. Wow. And really kind of shopping around, talking to other districts, kind of the technology, school technology market, they suggest that you do 100 megabits per second per 1,000 kids in your district. And so we're at 2/3 of the capacity that's suggested, or we will be. I think that goes in next week sometime. So we'll make it before school. Yeah, it's much needed. I would venture to say most schools don't have as much mobility. Most high schools don't have as much mobility as we're throwing this year.
What about the desktops? We still have some of those left, right?
Yeah, I mentioned how many we imaged. I think we've imaged about 1,000 now. Now we've imaged a few 2 or 3 times. Some trial and error, but I think we're gonna ultimately have about Windows count's gonna be in the 800 range,
Okay.
and our Mac side is another 100 and a quarter or something like that. So we're nearing that 1,000 computer mark. Now if you add in our iPads and Android devices and iTouches and a few other miscellaneous things, we're in the 11 to 12 to 1,300 device range.
Wow.
I think it's not an exact figure, but it's pretty close to that. So just to make the multi-platform option there. I mean, kids go off to college, they don't just see Windows 7 workstations and where they go. They need all of the varieties to be well-rounded. So
There's some upgrades going on to Adobe, is that right?
we've been on Adobe CS4 for 7 years, I think now, 6 years, 7 years, and so now we've made the jump to the CS6, and just finally got the trainings approved, and they're happening next week for the people who still could make it. Yeah, it's a good upgrade. There's a few Infinite Campus improvements I think that are noteworthy.
Oh, cool.
We're going to be able to text parents this year through the mobile phone number that they have on file. So if you want to text them alerts of certain things, if we have a snow day, or you want to send them a thank you or whatever,
Oh, that's cool.
So that's kind of cool. It's called ShoutPoint. Obviously, we're moving from Office 365 to Gmail. We're moving off of that because we went all in with Google. It's just made sense to do it. I think we're going to be on Google for a while, so
Yeah.
shouldn't see something like this come along for another few years.
So will the old addresses, will those just go dead like at a certain date, or will they still kind of be
No.
around? Or?
Yeah, they'll still be around. It's called an alias. And we own the 3 domains. We own d117.org, we own lakeseagles.com, and sequoias.com. And what we do is we put an alias for anyone that's in our staff. And if someone knew you at sequoias.com, then the message will reach you.
Okay.
And so if they knew your old email address, it will still get to you. What we hope is that when you reply, you have something in your signature that states that hey, my email address has been updated. The technology group is trying to look out for process improvements and student ease of use, staff ease of use in the classroom, and bringing these fun web tools, collaborative communicative tools that we just haven't seen in our district. So really exciting times.
How many hours would you say got put in over the summer on this?
Oh wow. We have a team of six younger employees that we bring back, kids that have graduated out of our programs, and they come out and help us, and so we put in 240 hours a week with that group, and then we have our own 3-man or 4-man team, so about 580, 600 hours a week we've
Wow.
put in since June 1st.
Any thoughts on where the future's headed with technology in the school, like in the next 5-10 years or so?
Interconnectivity, I think, between surrounding high schools and surrounding local libraries, surrounding neighborhoods, making it easier for the students to take their work out of the school. I think is going to be a big focus for a kid to be able to, a student to be able to sit at lunch get on their mobile device or their laptop if they have one, and maybe check out a resource from a library across the county because it wasn't available at our local library, and those systems being all kind of intertwined. I think that's probably how we're going to be rated as a school system in the future. Are you good at the interconnectivity? And so those conversations, with area schools and leveraging some costs, our circuit costs, our data circuit that we're going up to, this new 200 megabit circuit. If we were teaming up with 10 other high schools in the area, we would price leverage so much better. That would cost us a fraction of the cost. We've got a good opportunity actually in February. We're hosting the Prairie Conference superintendent meeting in our district, and we're gonna try to bring some of those things up and make them good talking topics and brainstorm how we can achieve that within 5 to 10 years, because why not?
Right.
Why not save $2 million from our internet bandwidth? Why not save that between 10 schools? I mean, that can go right back into the students' hands with technology in classrooms, or it could go back into the teachers' salaries. I mean, we're capable of that, and that's really the future. That's really the future of what I look out for. Kind of cool to think about. You could be coordinated enough to make those processes easier. But that's really what makes the school run better, what gives more attention to the staff, what gives more attention to the students.
Well, thank you for your time. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
it.
welcome.